Did you finally watch Nobody Wants This Yet?
Oh, no. But I have a coworker who's like, gotta get on that, girl. And I was like, I saw it got renewed for a second season, though. Because it's a show? Question mark?
It's so nostalgic.
Oh.
With Adam Brody.
Love him.
Rolling up as a rabbi, which kind of is like Fleabag adjacent. You're like...
Can they date?
Yeah.
Oh. All right.
I feel like other religions can learn from this. Cough, cough,
well.
cough. Like, you know? Because it is hot. He's hot. It's hot. Kristen Bell's hot. It's so fun. And I don't know. It's like, just because we live in nostalgia, it kind of fills my little nostalgia cup, you know?
Yeah. It is on my list, though. I am currently watching Abbott Elementary.
Oh, amazing.
I don't even fucking know what season we're on.
It's amazing.
It's
it could
amazing.
be 52. I don't care.
It's so
I
funny.
See him.
I'm also watching Survivor.
Oh.
Okay.
My God. Gross. I want to tell you something.
Uh-oh. Are you going to go on Survivor?
No.
Because I'll drive a boat to that island and save you. I swear to God.
Well.
It's not okay.
I actually quoted you. So, listeners, I left my job, and that requires a lot of people that I have to talk to about it. And, you know, I did a lot of like blocking of certain managers to make the people under me happy. And they were like, what do we do? And what about this situation? And blah, blah, blah. And I said, listen, my sister, who is a professional psychologist.
Wow.
Told me that if you want to learn anything in psychology, you got to watch Survivor. So I literally gave some of them homework. I was like, I want you to start watching Survivor.
Like
and then whenever Boss X tells you to do something, you use your Survivor skills and you basically don't do it. But you'll do the thing that needs to get done, you know? Mm-hmm. And then that's the thing. And that's what you learn.
All they got to do is vote him off the island. Easy. Simple, guys. Yeah.
I've thought about it. You know what I mean?
Woo-hoo!
Whoa.
Yeah, that's a trip. And I only have like two friends that are actively watching it. So then anytime I talk to those people, I like bombard them and they're like, oh my God, Katie, relax.
So is it new?
Yeah. This is season like... It's the same host. It's Jeff.
Is he a vampire?
Yes. Jeff is the vampire of the islands, Bridge.
You know what I've also been really into, if we're just going to talk about TV shows, is
What We Do in the Shadows. The new season came out.
Oh, gotta watch that. Didn't know about that. But also, with Bridget Everett, Somebody, Somewhere on Max. Did you ever watch it?
No.
You would frickin' love it.
What is it? Is it like,
it's like she's about, like, it's about like family dynamics, but she's like a very unique kind of, she is so herself. And, it's like some small Kansas town with her family and there's like interesting dynamics. And she makes this funny friend and then they're like besties. And so make it to the second season because I think has been the best one, but they just dropped their third season.
It's on HBO?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's just like her and this by the second season, and I think the end of the first, her and her like bestie dynamic is so funny. I dig it.
Okay. All right. You have to remind me that because I already forgot.
She's
somewhere
a vibe too.
What's it? Somewhere?
Somebody Somewhere with Bridget Everett. You know who that is? She's like the comedian. She's like got big knockers.
Jesus. I mean, maybe if I saw her.
I think that's part of her act, you know.
Oh, okay.
I'm just bringing up her boobs, but
okay. And then I am watching another show as well. There's a lot happening at once. Agatha All Along, which is a Marvel, which is superheroes. It's with Kathryn Hahn. She's great, and yeah, it's an acquired taste, and there's lore, so but I like it.
Listeners, can you believe that Katie and I actually watch movies and talk together because our real lives never intersect ever?
Very different tastes. They're all great though. Okay.
Oh my God.
Sisters who've seen it. We are the sisters who've seen it. sisters, shooby-dooby-doo-wop, sisters, shooby-dooby-doo-wop, sisters, 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 sisters. Sisters who've seen it.
Hello.
Hello there.
Welcome back, listeners.
Wearing a mask this Halloween. Take it
1,
off.
2, 3, 4,
Check your
5.
masks.
Couple days till Halloween.
Oh.
Halloween. Couple days till Halloween. We're silver shamrocks.
Oh.
Jesus Christ. Talk about drinking games.
I gotta tell you.
That's a game.
That was a childhood nursery.
Nursery?
Like rhyme. Sorry.
Oh. I was like, who lived there? We gotta save them. They need therapy.
Who are we? What are we doing?
All right, sorry. Okay, yes, listeners. Hello. We're not Silver Shamrocks, thank God. But we are the Sisters Who've Seen It, the podcast where two sisters who are not movie critics look back on some of our favorites throughout the years through a psychological, ethical, and familial lens. I'm Katie.
I'm Bridget.
And 8 more days till Halloween. Sorry. It's annoying. All right, I'll admit it. The movie knows it. The movie don't care. I might not care. We'll see what happens.
I have so many questions.
What's the movie, Bridge?
Oh, sorry.
Careful of the title.
Oh, God.
This'll get you.
Okay, hold on.
Spell check will get you.
Halloween, numeral 3.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Colon.
Oh.
Season of the Witch.
Kind of didn't feel like a season, but I'll get over it. Yep.
Wasn't a season.
Nope.
I'm confused on the witch. And I don't know why it's Halloween 3. Why couldn't it just be its own movie?
It really should have been, because I think it would have done a lot better, because people at the time were super pissed.
1982.
They're like, where's Michael? Yeah, which is so funny, because like that's when I feel like the slasher genre was livin' and thriving. And then they're like, don't worry, we're going to show like 2 seconds of the first Halloween movie on a TV in this movie, and that connects. And you're like, does it?
I guess. 1982, the 1 year before our brother Jimmy was born. So
Oh,
it's a vibe, you know?
wow. I didn't know that. Okay, yeah, like, that's math.
Well, I have some questions. And even if it's my synopsis, I'm not doing it. I'm gonna call a listener. I'm gonna phone a friend.
Oh boy,
and that friend is you.
All right, I'll do the synopsis.
Love you.
I blacked out. You probably did the vampire one. Who the heck knows? Okay. It is a sequel, but it's not a sequel. So we have lots of different people, y'all, and our main character is Dr. Challis. Isn't it Challis like the medieval cup? do you know what I'm talking about? Like,
yeah, like
can
at
be
church?
the chow, like the Oh wait, is that from church? Okay, well that's just, I don't know.
Mom would be so mad. You're like, is that from that Marvel movie?
No, medieval, like
church.
history.
No, it's definitely medieval. Like, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Oh my God, Daniel Challis. Okay, Dr. Challis, Daniel Challis. He's a divorced man. He is a dad. Never hangs out with his kids. Let's just start off with that.
His ex-wife does not like him.
I feel like it's a character trait. Also, his ex-wife was played by Annie from the first Halloween, who died.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Nancy Kyes is her actress name. So Dr. Challis is like, I'm a doctor. It's the 80s. I'm drunk on the job. I don't hang out with my kids. My ex-wife berates me, and I slap women's butts. And I make out with everyone around me. And you're like, Dr. Challis.
young, old, you name it. He does not discriminate, okay?
Okay, I'm having a scary movie moment. If we do a scary movie and we want to include some from this movie, I want him to just, like, make out with any adult near him. Like, man, woman, old, like, every time he meets someone, he's just like, nice to meet you, and, like, shoves his tongue in their throat, you know?
In 1982, all he had to say was, I'm a doctor. And then women were like, ooh, let's make out.
Wow. Oh, God. So Dr. Challis gets involved with some crazy shit because a man is brought into the hospital. And we did see a little bit of this man. He was running away from another man. One guy was trying to kill him. We're like, we don't know what's happening. All we know is the guy who was brought into the hospital is holding a Halloween mask. It's a silver shamrock mask because there is a mask toy company, something called Silver Shamrocks, and they have these novelty Halloween masks, and it's all the rage with the children. All right? But we don't really know what's happening, and then that guy gets murdered in the hospital.
Quickly. Not
great. Where's security? Let me know. And then that man explodes himself in a car. And so Dr. Challis is like, God damn, I'm just trying to be drunk and make out with people, and now I gotta deal with this. What the hell? But don't worry, because he gets to meet the dead man's daughter, whose name is Ellie, who has to come in and identify him, and she's like, this sucks. And then she goes to the doctor for some reason, and she's like, hey, like, I'm investigating my father's murder. We don't involve the cops. By the way, just the doctor. And she's like, I'm just trying to like figure out what's going on. And he was like, well, the guy did say they were going to kill us all. And she's like, I don't know what to do with that clue. But anyway, he buys these masks and I'm going to go to this little sketchy town. And the doctor who just met this lady is like, I'm going as well. And now we're going. And now we're Fox, Mulder, and Scully, but not as cool. Okay.
I gotta tell you, you've really shifted from Degrassi to Fox, Mulder, and Scully.
Just for now.
Okay, but you've really shifted. The drinking game needs to switch for those to be Fox, Mulder, and Scully.
Bridge, we got 2 more months. Once it hits January 1st, my rewatch of Degrassi starts, and you'll see me code switch, and then I'm going to forget about Fox, Mulder, and Scully. And it's going to be back to Degrassi. Yes,
not the proper term.
That's it. It's for me. It is. So
all right.
So these 2 ding dongs go to this town. This town is absolutely not okay, but we decide to stay there.
The town is insane.
Everybody's crazy. Everybody's kind of Irish. Questions. There's so many. And listen, we're Irish, but I have questions about it. And they're like, yeah, we think this like really crazy mask company had something to do with it. The owner of the company is the scariest man who literally just appears randomly throughout the town. His name is Conal Cochran. And he's just like, hey guys, oh, someone's face exploded? Don't worry, the hospital's at my toy factory. Oh, like, you want to buy masks? Come to my toy factory. Oh, your dad, like, got murdered and was missing, but I'm going to pretend I don't know you know that? Come to my toy factory. And everyone just, like, does. Like, everyone's just like, absolutely. And you do see some, like, deaths. We do have some deaths, adult deaths, and there is at least 1 child death. Okay, so you guys, I don't know, deal with that. And basically, you come to find that, oh my God, okay, bear with me. These masks, okay, Stonehenge was stolen. Now I feel like I'm reenacting the Always Sunny skit where the Charlie has like the big bulletin board. This is what this part of the movie feels like. Part of Stonehenge was stolen, and everyone's like, that's weird, it's missing. Anyway, let's forget about it. Conal Cochran stole it. Guys, we don't know how. He makes a comment where he goes, you wouldn't believe how he did it. And I raised my hand, and then nobody called on me. We're never going to know how he did it. So, but Stonehenge was stolen because it has magic something, and the planets something, and he's taking bits of Stonehenge, and he's putting it in his little mask emblem that goes on the masks. And then when a special creepy like thing plays on the TV that they're gonna play on Halloween night, and they're like encouraging all the children to watch with their masks on, then the mask like kills them and they die. And then Dr. Challis is like, why, Conal? Why? And Conal's like, it's just funny. It's kind of funny, I think. Also, Halloween, we have to kill people every couple of years. And Conal Cochran's supposed to be a witch, by the way.
It's like a sacrifice?
It's a sacrifice. But there probably could have been better sacrifices.
Wait, guys, go get some Advil. Do you have a headache? Because this is a real plot.
I told you, bear with me. And then, in the end, Dr. Challis doesn't die somehow. Ellie does die because, another subplot is AI is ruining lives even in the 80s. And all these robots are there too. And it sucks. And she's a fucking robot, so he kills her. And then he tries to call one radio station or one TV station to get the commercial off the air. But we don't know if it really does because the movie ends. And I do like that ending. It's very creepy.
Let me just give you credit where credit's due.
Thanks, guys.
I have so many questions.
Well, we may get answers, but probably not. So, we'll see.
Okay. My first is, we already addressed it, which is, why did this have to be called Halloween 3? It has nothing to do with Halloween, but okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Apparently, John Carpenter. Wait, what's his name?
Yeah, John Carpenter.
He was over Michael Myers.
I don't blame him.
And so he wanted this to be, like, wildly new, and that's the only reason he got involved. Because he was just over it. But I think everyone expected Michael Myers, so I'm sure they were kind of annoyed.
Yeah, I read something like he wanted to turn it into, like, an anthology, so then that, like, every movie after this one would have been just a different spoopy theme, which I don't know when Tales from the Crypt came out, if that was, like, 80s or 90s, but, like, that feels, like, similar.
Feels 90s.
And I think, and even, like, there was, like, the Twilight Zone, you know, like, there were a lot of shows that I think were popular that I can understand why someone might be like, let's also do that, you know? We have a title, we have Halloween trademarked, let's make them just random spoopy, which you're like, that does make sense. But yeah, no, the fanboys did not approve.
The little jingle, it's to London Bridge, it's fallen down.
Oh,
falling down. Because it's there's no royalties. It's just free for use.
Oh.
You know?
Cool.
But the other thing is, the witch part, I was kind of confused, because I'm like, so, Conal Cochran, the Irish dude in Iowa. I'm assuming it's Iowa.
It's California.
Oh, is it? It felt like middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And he is a Wiccan, or witch, and and so every couple of Halloweens, he's got to kill a bunch of people. And then he started doing Irish folklore, and James watched it with me, and he's a sponge of knowledge, and he was like, that's right, there's the Irish, and I was like, but what? And
which part was right? The sacrificing, the witches,
honey,
the planets.
What was the Irish history that was right about the thing?
The hills ran red with blood.
The hills ran red with blood? What was that thing?
I did not recognize that.
Oh, I thought you remembered it.
Uh-oh.
And it was like all over the map. It was like Celtic, but witchcraft.
Celtic and witchcraft.
And Stonehenge.
Stonehenge.
Okay, never mind. He's told me I lied.
Oh, okay.
I lied. I'm so sorry. But I was like, why are we calling this the season of the witch? Because I kept waiting for the witch.
Who's
and then
witch?
I thought, oh, maybe the witch is the mask. And then I thought, why is Stonehenge deciding to just murder children? Why is it that? Why is that magic?
I don't think Stonehenge is not like a sentient he's a rock, you know. I think Conal Cochran decided to pick children.
The spice? Okay, he adds
it's like
evil.
Conal Cochran was like, I'm using Stonehenge because it's magic rock, but it's my plan. And he said, it's the best kind of joke, a joke on the children. And like everyone else, but I guess a joke on the children. And there was like weird comments made where it was like, yeah, that Conal Cochran, he loves to be a prankster. And I was like, okay, sure. But, okay.
Okay. So I know we're going to do our sequencing thing or whatever, but then my other question is, why did we add like AI robots to this? Is that just because we're replacing factory workers and we're showing that we're like saving money? Because if we're going to murder everybody, spare no expense, no? Jurassic Park rules?
I mean, it did feel a little like, I
don't get it. I don't get the motivation.
I think it was just like creepy. So they're like, let's make it creepy. And you're like, okay.
Okay.
And And, like, I mean, it was, because, like, was this your first time seeing this movie?
Yes, and I wasn't, so the beginning was creepy.
Yeah.
The guy running, and then clearly those, like, it kind of gave me Men in Black, or actually it gave me Matrix vibes. Like, the evil guy.
Mr. Smith.
Mr. Smith. It gave me Mr. Smith vibes. And then I was like, okay, so that was just a thing. We're not going to keep doing that. But I thought that was going to be the tone of the movie, where everyone would be chased. But it became a lot more like detective movie. And then we got chased later, but, like, only till the very end.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of random sex in the middle.
Oh, there was. We see a butt.
Why?
A man butt. Which I'm kind of like, all right. Like, I mean, usually we see lady butts, so I was like, oh, cool.
I mean, it is 1982, how progressive, right?
It was very much so, yeah. I don't know about the robots, but...
Okay. I just was like, this is a lot.
It was creepy. I don't know. This movie could be remade nowadays, though, because...
It could use a remake.
I'm scared.
It could use a remake, and it could use, like, really modern day, not like an 80s remake. Like, do modern day technology with it, because,
I mean, Elon Musk could just play himself as the bad guy and not act, and I'm scared.
Totally.
But I don't want him to get paid or any credit. and I do want him to actually be murdered by Stonehedge in the movie. I'm sorry. Anyway, okay, we're back.
So the plot is...
All right, well, the plot...
Sexy doctor.
Okay.
With a mustache. It's 1982. Burt Reynolds is all the rage.
Wow.
Let's do it.
Let's just reference, the 80s didn't give a fuck about people who have seizure disorders, because Jesus Christ, the blinking lights. It was... At all. Right away.
Right away.
I was like, this is not good. Oh my God. But this is where we do see the one guy he's like being chased. He's running, whatever. And there's a man who owns like a junkyard. Yeah,
like, I guess it's like a car junkyard.
Okay. And like,
I thought he was in on it. I was confused by him.
Oh, well, he is kind of sketchy at one point. Yeah.
He was like, this man came to my shop and he is murdered. I didn't do it.
And then he
sneaks away.
I laughed so hard at that. I was like, why are we filming it like this? Like, this man is like creeping out the building.
Well, and I kind of thought to myself, why is he in the plot? Because he comes back later and it's still not helpful. And I thought, why is this man? Who does he know? Is he
whose brother is that?
Who's uncle, cousin, insert whatever.
Did he win a contest?
Okay, but the whole dude running and then like the weird suit men following him in the car was great and creepy, and they eventually got him, but somehow he got to the hospital.
Yeah.
When we meet the doctor, okay. I thought he was still married to this woman because he comes home to a house she's at with the kids, and boy does she hate him, to the point that he's like, save our children, and she's like, you fucker, and literally
she's like,
hangs
you're
up.
Drunk, and I was like, oh geez.
If anyone needs to figure out how to co-parent, it is on Halloween.
I was gonna say, it's not this movie.
It's definitely not this movie, but if
opposite.
Yeah. If you have a bad relationship and whatever, but then your ex calls you and you're about to die. I mean, Jesus Christ, you'd want to like not hang up on them. Yikes.
I would think so. And I just think it's so funny because he busts in and he's like, hey kids, it's some Halloween mess. And they're like, mom got us the cool ones. And I was like, bitch, you're a doctor and you didn't even like splurge for the popular ones. Like, you don't like your kids is my messaging for this doctor. As I was like, you don't know your kids. You don't really care about your kids because anytime you call home, it's to be like, hey, I can't be with the kids. See you later.
He just
and then
went
at the end. Yeah.
And he just went on an adventure with some hussy.
Some random lady abandons his kids. And then he's like, by the way, save the kids. And the wife's like, I got to do everything around here. And I was like, she's not wrong.
She's not wrong. But like, he should have had, some better relationship because like, now his kids are dead.
Yeah,
Yikes.
they definitely are. They sure fucking are. And then he's just like, ugh, I gotta go to the hospital. There's like a guy brought in. And I was like, what is this 80s hospital? Because I thought only like 3 people worked at the hospital. And I had so many questions. And I was like, where's like everybody? Why do you have to get called in for this?
All
Help.
right. Okay, so the one nurse, do we think she's like in her 60s?
She got her butt slapped.
Is she in her 60s?
I think so.
Was she 70?
No.
He caressed and hit her butt.
Slapped it.
And I thought, wait, are we supposed to think that you also have sex with the nurse? Because I thought he's still married and just had a wife that hated him. And then we're slapping the nurse's butt.
No.
And then very quickly we go on, an adventure with the dead guy's daughter, who I thought... And then at some point he asked her her age, and I thought, ew, yeah. I hate this.
That's why I think he just was like into slapping butts and making out,
He was like I think drunk too, right? Like he was always drinking. Yeah.
Well, and then they're like, all right, he rushes to the hospital to talk to this man for 1 second. Then he's like, let the man rest. And then he goes in a secret room by himself, drinks something, and takes a nap. And guess what happens? The Mr. Smith Matrix robot guy busts in and kills him. So, again.
He kills him by squishing his eyeballs out.
Yeah, it's icky.
Why? Is that part of the witchcraft?
No.
Why?
I don't know.
Why do we have to kill him that way, Just I guess, unplug a machine or something,
Maybe because he was it kept him quiet, but it was weird. And then this where the nurse was like, oh my God, Dr. Challis, do something. Dr. Challis can't run because he's drunk. The robot literally walks so slowly to a car. He watches him get in the car. He doesn't even run up to the car. He's like, sir, come back, murderer, sir. And then the robot, who we don't know it's a robot at this point, he pours gasoline on himself and then the car explodes like Michael Bay style. And I was like, whoa, that escalated quickly. Damn.
And somehow that same doctor is also sleeping with the coroner? I
don't know. I don't know their relationship.
I feel like he was, because he was like, hey, lady, do me a favor. And she's like, sure, sugar, but you gotta pick up my calls. And he's like, don't worry, honey bunny. And I'm like, wait, so you also sleep with everybody? Does he sleep with the bus driver? How is this convenience?
Oh my God. He probably
But she said that when the car blew up, there was no body remains, teeth or anything, even in a fire. Yeah. And he was like, something shady about that. Get into that. So glad we're sleeping together. I'll take care of you, honey. And she was like, totally, doctor. Yeah. To be a doctor in the 80s, you're just getting laid. Well, you're a porn star, basically.
This is the problem, because if this was remade, I'm now thinking of these relationships. And, what would he do? He'd be like, hey, text me a tit pic while you tell me about the ashes? What? No. I hate it. And she would have. And I hated it. It's not good. And I don't know. I mean, this is where we meet then the daughter of the guy who was murdered. Her name is Ellie. She definitely seems younger than him. And at one point in the movie, he's like, wait, how old are you? This was after they've already boned 80 times. And she goes, don't worry, I'm older than I look. And I was like, but I worry, Ellie. And then they just kept having sex. And I was like, all right, guess we'll stop worrying about that, I suppose.
I hated that.
What's your job? Where do you live? Do you have any pets? No, we don't care about any of that for Ellie.
I also feel like he wasn't... I mean, I know I'm not in the 80s, and I know I don't know the vibe, because it's Miami Vice and stuff. But, I didn't feel like he was that hot to be worthy of so much ass,
No, we saw his whole ass, Bridge.
But I was
yes.
How's this man... Is it just a must... If you have a mustache in the 80s, you get laid?
I mean... Possibly. If you're not a murderous robot man, you get laid. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. And it felt a little like, not Stockholm syndrome-y, but like, I don't know. He was the only one that was like, I guess I'll help you. And then she was like, yay, like, you're awesome. And I was like, ugh, low bar, Ellie. Like, he didn't even ask like what your hobbies are or your favorite color. And we're already boning. So
also, she's grieving her dead dad. That's weird.
is. He died like 2 days earlier, and then they
just so weird.
Go and bunk. Yeah, so this is where she's like, my dad owned a little, like, toy store, and he sold these masks, and my dad had a diary, and he always wrote shit in his diary about what my dad was doing. My dad said he was going to this place a couple days before he died, and I think we gotta go to that place. And then this is where the doctor's like, absolutely, I am leaving work, leaving my home, leaving my children.
He's like, I got nothing to do.
It's my weekend with the kids, but fuck them. Let's go. Let's get a motel.
I literally have no responsibilities. I'm a doctor.
Yeah, he just does whatever the fuck he wants. And they roll up to this town. And as they're driving there, he's like, hey, here's like a news article about this town. This is the town where the Silver Shamrock Mask Factory is. And he's like, this was a small farming town of Irish immigrants. And now the factory is like the business. And you're like, what? That's not sketchy at all, guys.
I couldn't tell if all the people were robots.
Maybe.
It could have been.
I don't know. I don't think all of them were, because some of them, like, talked more normally. And it did seem like people just assimilated to this, like, cult. It felt culty. Where everyone's like, Conal Cochran. We love Conal Cochran. And I was like, oh my God, blink twice if we need help. Jeez.
But, I mean, he was pretty smooth. I gotta give it to him. When you meet him, he's got what the kids call Riz.
Don't say that. No. The first time you see Conal Cochran, and you don't even, like, see him, it's when he's, like, mentioned, is they get to this, like, shitty little motel, and the guy who owns it is so Irish. He's like, let's get a room, and I was like, oh God, don't make him a drunk as well, please, the stereotypes.
Wait, I gotta just tell this one quick tangent.
Oh my God.
So James's mom is from Ireland.
Yeah.
You know this. Did I ever tell you the story? The first year, I, like, got close enough with the family, and we visited her on St. Patrick's Day.
Okay.
And I was like, oh my God, are you so excited to celebrate St. Patrick's Day? And she goes, we don't celebrate that in Ireland.
Oh no!
And I was like,
stereotypes!
I am the worst American who pretends to know things, but I don't.
You're like, here's a potato to apologize.
She's like, go away. I hate you.
Oh my God.
God.
But as we're at this shitty little motel with this weird man, he's like, there's Conal Cochran! And it's like the slowest a car could drive. Like, he put it in neutral and it's rolling down the hill. And they're all just watching him. And the guy's like, and Conal Cochran doesn't say hi, and then he just rolls away. And you're telling me he's not the evil guy? Hello?
It's pretty obvious.
Investigation over, okay? Like, we figured it out in that moment, but they don't leave.
Be honest. Were you thinking of Schitt's Creek with that motel?
I mean, a little bit.
Can you imagine in a scary movie
fucking
Schitt's Creek interacts with Conal Cochran's town?
Moira would be like, Conal Cochran, oh.
He seems slippery.
He's a babe. Oh. Save the babes from the masks.
Take the masks with my wigs. I kind of was like, okay, he's the evil dude. But then we do, like, all this other random shit, right? Which is, like, we meet a lady who has her own store, and she's like, that factory's behind. I gotta stay at that stupid motel. And then I was like, oh, the motel is the murdering motel. I was like, maybe we murder here. I mean, motels are gross, and
a little
murder people.
Yeah.
But that wasn't it.
No.
But she got murdered from, like, taking the chip out of the mask. She didn't understand what it was, and somehow it got her, and then they're like, oh no, we gotta clean up this little snafu.
That's where she goes to the hospital that's at the mask factory, and nobody had questioned.
Well, and I was like, oh, okay. And then both the daughter, Ellie, and the doctor are trying to, like, play it cool, but they're also terrified. And so they didn't know what to do, and then eventually they had to, like, I don't know, go see the factory.
They're scared, but they just bone to, like, not be scared.
Yeah,
and
okay.
The first fucking night they're at this motel, which, like, okay, it's the first night they're in the town. So you're like, I guess we're learning about the town. The town has, like, all these cameras around the town. Red flag number 1. Red flag number 2, there's a 6 p.m. curfew. I'm sorry. You're telling me there's no murderers here and we all got to be inside by 6 p.m.? Get the fuck out.
I know.
Even though there's a 6 p.m. curfew, Dr. Challis is a functioning alcoholic. And he goes to a liquor store.
Yep.
And then he's walking around at night, and, like, a homeless man meets him and is like, hey, can I have a swig of that? And he's like, absolutely. Hey, what do you think of this Conal Cochran? He's like, fuck Conal Cochran. He sucks. Anyway, see ya. And he's like, bye. And then immediately the robot men murder the homeless man.
Yo, in
like,
our
Jesus.
home, when we say things, we apologize to Mark Zuckerberg or Jeff Bezos or whoever's listening. But in that town, they have to do it to Conal Cochran.
Yeah,
man,
and
he's
he didn't.
listening. He is Surrey. He is Google Home. He is in your pocket.
That's why I'm like, this could be remade today, because, like, a lot of this stuff is just part of everyday life. So it wouldn't seem as, like, creepy and ominous that there's billions of cameras all around and, like, a man that everybody worships, even though he sucks. Like, welcome to America, guys. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, and there's also a fucking family, Bridge. I don't know their last name, but the guy's name,
pull up,
Buddy.
Like, cousin
Eddie.
From
Christmas Vacation.
I'm so glad you got there. They pull up with an RV. They're like,
wow,
yeah, we're going to sell these masks. Give me our retirement plan. Dad, where's my bike? Give me the blue Jello. Okay.
Yeah.
Then somehow they all get to the factory.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all ready for a tour. Katie, I've taken a lot of factory tours. I was right in my element, okay? I was like, let's do this. This feels real. This is appropriate.
It's like quality control, middle management, product development. Yeah.
However, again, confused by Conal Cochran, the evil witch's motivation. That is his best sales associate.
Yeah.
Best. Number 1. Top seller.
Number 1.
We're going to just murder him?
Yeah.
We put him in a test room to put on the mask for the kid. Mind you, we should have tested this months ago.
I think they did test it, but they were like,
let's just murder this kid too?
Well, they were doing that also to be like, here, Dr. Challis, because this was part of the third act exposition villain monologue that Conal Cochran does for 8,000 minutes. So he's like, let me show you what's happening tonight to the children.
So he did, and I was like, okay, so now we murder this family that were just, loud and proud? Because if I know Cousin Eddie, he's actually killing the witch.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
Why are we killing our best salesman? You're gonna have to kill people in the future. What are you gonna do about it?
I think because it's like, well, we have to sacrifice people this year, but not for, like, a couple others. So it's like, who cares if he's, like, a dead guy? And you're like, I guess I don't care.
And who's paying all this? Where's the advertising budget coming from? They're making...
That I don't know.
Expensive AI robots.
Yes.
There is no profit in that. Absolutely not.
Maybe Stonehedge. I don't know. Are we selling part of Stonehenge online for eBay?
As part of the tour, though, there's that little secret room that says, do not come in.
He's like, that's final processing. It's trade secrets. We can't show you. And I was like, he's evil!
Well, and even the sales guys was like, I'm your number 1 sales guy. I want to see it because I want to sell more. And I was like, this is such a loyal employee. How could you not? And instead you murder him. You're the worst, Conal.
He does. And everyone just starts dying. But basically, and how we get here is Ellie is like, oh, that's my dad's car at the factory. Yep. And now the robot men are like, no, it's not. And then they're like, this is weird. And then Dr. Challis is like, we gotta get out of here. Let's go. Somehow Ellie gets kidnapped. I forget, like, how that happened. I'm sure Dr. Challis was out drinking, and he's like, "Be back soon,
He was
Ellie."
drinking or having
bone.
sex with somebody, yeah.
Yeah, he's left her alone. Bitch got kidnapped. And then he's like, oh no. And then the robots come for him. They come for blood. So he decides to go to the factory, which is not where I would go because, like, that's where the robots came from. But that's where he goes. And then he immediately...
I think he thinks Ellie is there.
I mean, she was, but... like, I still wouldn't go there. I don't think... I feel like I'd be like, police!
Okay, but he goes there. I'm with you. I mean, you know, I'm a flighter. I'm not a fighter. I'm actually in Ireland at this point. I've flown to Ireland.
Wow. That's far.
But he's in the factory and he's like walking around and he sees all these creepy dolls and
grandma.
The grandma doing like a grandma robot thing and
a knitting robot.
Everything's creepy, and then eventually you're right, Conal Cochran does his little evil spiel. And then they, like, get him, tie him up, okay? Yeah. You would think they would do a better job. Nope. They don't. No. They do a horrible job. He gets out immediately get untied and get out. And then they don't even watch him. What's the point of AI? Yeah. Okay.
Well, and it's also like the commercial for the children is like, come watch the big giveaway at 9. And then when they tie him up, it's like 7:30. I was like, he's got to sit there for an hour and a half before he dies. That's just no fun.
Was he was gonna die too, right?
Because they put the mask on him. So if you're wearing the mask and you watch the commercial, you die.
So kid, adult, no matter who.
It doesn't matter who. But, in that case, they were trying to kill him. And so he busts out. He tries to call his ex-wife. She's like, you're drunk, goodbye. And I was like, not wrong, probably. He probably is a little sloshed. Awkward, okay?
But true.
Definitely drank something before we got here.
Yeah.
And then he gets Ellie. Ellie was, like, tied up on, like, a bed, and he said they don't have any words. He's just like, come on down, follow me. And she just follows him. She doesn't say shit to him the whole time, which is sketchy. And he goes in the room with the Stonehenge, which is filled with Conal Cochran, who's a man, and then all the robot who look like men, but they're not men. And his plan is to throw all the little, like, logo chips, which have Stonehenge pieces. He's going to throw them in the room with Stonehenge. And I don't know the science, Bridge, of Stonehenge science, but I don't know. Did Stonehenge get mad? Was it planets? Was it lasers? Was it something? Was it witchcraft? I don't know, but basically everyone explodes. It's just like, wow, that worked. And then Stonehenge, I think, gets pissed and it kills Conal Cochran and he turns into like a Play-Doh man.
I gotta say, though, that was a stellar goodbye. That he did like that little wave.
Yeah. He was like, you got me. I love a good prank. And I was like, boy.
Damn, that is a pretty, like, fair witch, you know?
Listen, our dad really enjoys watching Impractical Jokers, which is a really stupid-ass show. I just feel like if Conal Cochran applies, we need to say no, okay? If anyone suggests Stonehenge, it's a no for me, dog. Yeah.
All of those Impractical Jokers are dead because they're all wearing masks thinking it's funny. And they're dead.
Absolutely. They're dead. And they're all dead. And you would think if everything exploded, like, we're safe. But for some reason, like, the commercial still happens.
I was thinking that. I go, wait a second.
I guess.
And so then he calls, like, advertising 101 and says, can you take off this commercial? Who did he call? What number is that?
How do you know the number? I don't know.
How does that work?
I don't know. I don't have personal numbers of TV channels.
I don't know how to. Yeah, I don't. Do you?
I don't. Oh yeah, and before that, Ellie's a robot, and then he has to kill her, and it like goes on for a really long time. And I was like, I know you boned her, but like, now you gotta kill her. You know?
Wow.
Oh, in the other hospital lady died too. The coroner, everyone around this guy's dying.
So, anyone
whose butt he slapped dies.
I mean, and even the ex-wife who didn't die, then her children die.
I mean, she might die too. Who knows? Yeah.
Oh my God. So, I wouldn't say this was scary.
No.
And then because the story was so insane, that didn't scare me. But the Conal Cochran was kind of scary.
He's scary.
He's
creepy.
Creepy. And he plays it really well.
Yeah.
And I thought he was the best. And then when Ellie comes back as a robot to murder him in the final scene in, like, the woods in the car, and then, like, loses her head, but still tries to kill him with her arm without a head.
Right.
I thought, okay, but are we done yet?
No.
I
mean, yes, we are, but
we weren't.
I mean, it's like we were, but we aren't. And then, I like the ending where he's like, it just ends with him being like, stop it, and the commercial's already going, or like the segment is already going, and then he's like, stop it, and then it just ends. And I'm like, cliffhanger!
But all the kiddos, like, from around the country
died.
I was like, that's a lot of children dead.
That's a big sacrifice for the season of the witch when the witch exploded. So I don't really know. Your
kids come home with candy. Everyone's nervous about the razor blades.
Yeah.
It's the tag in the mask.
Check the tag. Don't touch it.
Don't touch it.
Laser beams and
laser
spiders.
Your face. Yeah. It will laser your face.
You'll have to go to the toy factory hospital, and nobody wants that. Yeah.
Nobody wants that, especially when it's in Iowa or California.
Yes,
hey,
it's California.
Do you watch this or don't watch this?
I think it's very Halloween-y. I think it's fun. It's a fun one.
I mean,
there is 80s
it's
sex.
It's
but...
a do it once. I think it's a do it once.
All right.
I don't know if I'd do it again.
Okay.
I needed motivation. I'm like, why is he doing this?
Because
I don't get it.
He got to bone, and then he's gotta get in the zone. You know? That's what I say about this movie.
It's my pick.
Okay.
Time to change the subject.
Woo! Well, October's over, yeah.
I was inspired by a Max/HBO documentary from a nostalgic dude, Andrew McCarthy. Remember him?
No.
Former Brat Pack member, so to speak.
Pretty
in Pink. You name it, he's part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Are we doing Pretty in Pink? Did we do that already?
Follow me. Follow this story.
Okay.
So he came out with a documentary where it's going back to all the quote-unquote people in the Brat Pack on how they felt about being labeled that and how it actually, like, ruined their careers.
Oh.
And it started with Emilio Estevez doing this article, and he kind of thought the journalist was his friend, and it wasn't, and he was young, and the journalist kind of screwed him, and then it screwed all these other people because then they didn't do movies together, and so it's, like, really interesting. It's a documentary, so it's not like movie. Anyways, the point of it is, as I was watching it, all these nostalgic movies popped up.
Oh boy.
So, okay,
are we going 80s?
We're definitely going, where is it 80s? Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I was gonna say Brat Pack is 80s.
We're going 1985. We are going the height of it. Anyone that you can think of is in this movie. Okay? We have not done it yet.
Are you sure?
I am sure.
Okay.
We have not done it yet. I have never seen this. But when I saw the title of it, I thought, I should watch that. I don't know what it's about besides what the internet tells me, which is some sort of coming-of-age rom-com, whatever.
Oh, that could be any of them.
Any guess? You want to throw it out there?
I mean, what did we do already? We did The Breakfast Club. We did 16 Candles. We didn't do Pretty in Pink.
I think we did Pretty in Pink.
I don't think we did. No, I think we did 16 Candles.
Oh.
Is that the movie you picked, Bridget?
No.
Oh, I don't know. We didn't do Back to the Future. We didn't do any of those yet. Okay.
No,
I don't know anything.
Starring all of them, St. Elmo's
Fire! Oh, yes! Wait, isn't it also like a drama?
I'm sure it is, because all those 80s shit was dark as hell.
But this was not made by John Hughes, right?
No.
That's a question. Okay.
It was not. But let me just tell you this cast. We got Rob Lowe. We got Emilio Estevez. We got Andrew McCarthy. We got Demi Moore. By the way, she's part of the Brat Pack. Judd Nelson. Ali Sheedy.
Oh my God.
Andy McDowell.
Oh.
It just keeps going. It keeps
no Molly Ringwald, though. Right?
Is Molly in this one? No.
Probably not.
No Molly in this one.
Okay. Oh my gosh!
I've never seen it. I don't know. I'm ready.
Is it just called Coming of Age? That's the only description on IMDb?
It just says like romance comedy, coming of age. Let me see.
I've definitely heard of it.
It centers on the clique of recent graduates of Georgetown and their adjustment to post-university life and the responsibilities of adulthood.
Oh God, it sounds so real.
A prominent movie of the Brat Pack genre. Yeah, but also go watch the HBO documentary so you can kind of like get the behind the scenes vibe.
No, I got it.
Really interesting. I had no idea that they all hated that terminology about them and how it honestly ruined some of their lives, which is like kind of amazing a power that something like that could have. But in the 80s, you know.
It's very interesting.
Nobody has the internet, so they're all like focused on whatever's published in the Times or you name it. So.
Did you ever watch the show? I think it was on VH1. It was called I Love the 80s.
I remember that, yeah.
And there was just all these comedians, and it would just be random shit from the 80s, and they would be like, oh my God, blah, blah, and like make references and jokes. And I feel like this movie was like featured on that, and they would like talk about it. But that doesn't mean I know anything either. So we gonna learn today or next week. All right? Okay.
All right. Don't put on your mask for Halloween. Let's do this.
Yes. Well, Bridge.
Oh, yes.
I just want to say, if you got a job selling masks and you were like, hey, this guy invited me to the factory because I'm the top sales lady and, you know, we're all going to go and it's going to be great, I would show up with a gun. Yes. I'd go get a gun.
Yes.
I don't own guns at all. I'd figure out how to get one. And I'd be like, you better fucking listen up here, sir. I swear to God, if you're a witch and there's Stonehedge in that room, there's going to be a problem.
And how did you get it there?
Yeah. and most importantly, please tell us how this got here undetected, because there was a news article about it and everything and nobody looked into it. So, and I'd do that for you to make sure that nobody dies in the world.
Thank you for bringing your gun. You'd have to figure out how to find and get legally.
I would do that for you. Yeah, I love you.
Kate, for me... I would... There's so many ways to go. I would possibly set up behind your back. But wait, listen to me. We've already gotten the Scary Movie contract, so we're setting up the movie.
Excellent.
We're writing it. We're directing it.
Thank God.
We're going for it. I pull Conal Cochran out of his retirement. He might be 107.
Jesus.
And I make him show up to set and just tell you random things about him and his backstory. And he gets to be a part of Scary Movie, and he actually wins you a Golden Globe.
I love that. I'm envisioning he takes the role of George Carlin in Scary Movie 3 when he's just there and he's like a creepy old guy, but he's so fucking funny. And now that could be Conal Cochran. Rest in peace, George Carlin. And yes. Well, and listeners, if you also think that this movie, it could be remade, like, just straight up for today, but it could also be a Scary Movie parody, and Dr. Challis can make out with anything that has a pulse, you know? Like, any consenting adult thing that has a pulse. Any butt that's in the vicinity is getting a slap. Am I right?
Totes.
And if you think that consumerism will kill us, as will flashing lights.
Okay.
They will, yeah.
All right.
And if you think that, you know, Stonehenge probably should have been investigated, like, more. Like, why did we give up?
There had to be someone watching a big giant rocket stolen.
We didn't dust for fingerprint. Like, nobody looked at the plane tickets. Nobody checked that. Yeah. So if you think all that, you should write us a review. Woo! We love reviews. We love written reviews. You can review us on Apple Podcasts, along with some other podcasting apps. We also have a website, sisterswhoseenit.com. On our website, you can request a movie. There is a form you can fill out. Your request goes on a list, and we look at the list every now and then, and we will do it eventually. So this is our last episode in the month of Halloween in October.
Halloween.
So any frickin' movie you want, just like put it up in there, and it'll be in the list, and we love to see it. I love to see it. And Bridge, what else can they do on our website?
Give us money.
Woo!
Directly.
Woo.
We will not buy masks.
No.
Okay?
Yeah.
Also, buy merchandise. There
Yeah.
are no masks. Okay?
Thank God.
We are not trying to mess with you.
There is no Stonehedge. Okay?
Yes, but basically we need money, so just send us our way. Thank you. And good night.
I do really want to, now that I keep joking about that, I really want us to somehow create a little mini Stonehenge figure and
steal?
sell that. Just to sell. Not to steal. To sell. I don't know what we'll do with it. We're not, those evil witches.
I mean, we could be good witches,
We're
but,
good witches, yeah. Yes. So check all that out, listeners, and we hope to hear from you. All right. Well, we'll see y'all next week for St. Elmo's Fire. Even St. Elmo's Fire. It's from a song.
Watch
That's
out for 80s mustaches. Watch
Whoa.
out for doctors.
Whoa.
They're coming after your behinds.
They got a hand. It's going to hit you.
You gotta run. Do not head to any factory towns. Okay?
You will see their butt. That's
All
right.
I love
Wow.
you.
I love you.
Goodbye.
Happy Halloween,
Happy
everybody.
Halloween.
Woo!
Goodbye. I love you. Goodbye.
Thanks for tuning in to Sisters Who've Seen It. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Check out our website at sisterswho'veseenit.com, where you can email us, request movies to be reviewed, and keep up to date with all things sisters. Also, make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. See you next week.